Yes, everybody, GMFB on a Wednesday. Special little Wednesday, though, because it is Christmas Eve. We have our whiteboards. The whiteboards do travel. Jamie, Manti, Mike, G. Yeah. Oh, mine's got lines on the back. That's fun. And Kyle. Kyle, great to see you back in, honestly, where it feels like you just look safer, you look healthier, you look... Do you want to tell us what you were doing yesterday, or would you rather just leave that for just the mind to wander?
Yeah, yes, I feel like I was really clear on this yesterday. I was in prison, so I got bailed out by a bail bondsman, and I won't be out for long, guys. I have an anklet on right now. I'm not allowed to say what I did, but if you saw yesterday's show, I was coming from some sort of penitentiary. Now I'm in a sauna, and so it's just been that kind of week, and I just want to talk some football. Mike G, you ready to talk ball? You got takes today?
Yeah, well, what got you locked up in the first place?
I'm not allowed to say. It might have the word indecent in it, but I don't want to put that way. It's just all about ball today. I don't want to compromise myself. My attorney has told me to stay silent, so I'm going to try to do that. Ball, ball, ball. Let's go, Jamie.
Keep it classy.
Let's
keep it classy.
KB.
He's in that sauna. He wants to sweat out 10 pounds of takes today on the NFL. Kyle, let's look back, as this time of year often does, at training camp, when you actually had a chance to sit down with and speak with Aaron Rodgers back in August during Back Together weekend. And in that discussion, Rodgers had an answer about what it felt like to come back and play this 21st season in the NFL. Take a listen.
Jim Carrey had this quote when he was thinking about retiring. And Jim Carrey said, "I've done enough, I have enough, I am enough." As a fan of yours, that was how I felt about you last year. 20 years, started all 17 games. I did.
You? Yeah.
It wasn't enough for you, though. Why not?
I fell in love with this game when I was 6 years old, and I wanted to have that closure and give back to the game one more time the way that it's given to me.
Give back to the game one more time. It was a great conversation then, and frankly, the answer still tracks now. Manti, what we have seen of Aaron Rodgers is what we thought we were going to get with the New York Jets. Not how it worked out. Clearly, the Rodgers-Mike Tomlin thing is working at least in December. Manti, we've seen 16, 17 weeks of this. What do you make of Rodgers in 2025?
Well, I think the whole journey of Aaron Rodgers as a Pittsburgh Steeler has been beautiful since the time before he became a Pittsburgh Steeler. Not too long ago, I mean, Cam Hayward, one of the leaders of that Pittsburgh Steelers team, had some very colorful, maybe colorful words, I could say, about the potential of having somebody like Aaron Rodgers. Let's take a listen. Let's go back.
I ain't doing that darkness retreat. I don't need any of that crap. Like, either you want to be a Pittsburgh Steeler or you don't. That's simple. That's the pitch. Like, if you want me to recruit, that's the recruiting pitch. You know, Pittsburgh Steelers, if you want to be part of it, so be it. If you don't, no skin on my back.
But this is what it looked like after last week's game. Yeah. It looks like it's working pretty good, guys. Yeah. And if people didn't see this clip, this is Aaron Rodgers pointing to Mike Tomlin after he got his 200th win. So you're looking at the journey that is Aaron Rodgers as a Pittsburgh Steeler, and I think it fits so well. Why? Because I think this is the first time in Aaron Rodgers' career that he can just be a quarterback. I think if you look at his career in general, from the time he got to the NFL, sometimes he had to be the play caller, sometimes he had to be the culture enforcer, sometimes he had to be the standard bearer. Over there in Pittsburgh, all of that stuff is set in stone already. So for Aaron Rodgers to come into this picture, he can just be a gunslinger. He can just be the guy that sits back there and he commands an offense, Mike G. So I think from where it started in the offseason and Cam Hayward having those comments to where it is now, I think it's worked out beautifully.
Yeah, I covered them in week one. I guess it was week one, the opener against the Jets. Yeah, and those three guys were walking off together. In fact, Tomlin and Hayward, Manti, were waiting for Rodgers so that the three of them could all walk off together, and there they are doing it again in Detroit. I go back to that interview and the fact that he told Kyle, I love the game. It's a game that he fell in love with. I feel like we're getting all of it from Aaron Rodgers this season. We're getting all of the emotion. There's been some screaming and yelling. As a matter of fact, this past week, Jonnu Smith comes in motion, and you could hear him hot on the mic saying, what the bleep are you doing, right? Like, you're seeing some yelling, some barking at teammates early in the season. You're also seeing some incredible emotion. You're seeing him battle through the wrist injury, and you're seeing in the post-game press conferences, he's asked about, were you guys prepared? And he went back at the reporter and said, I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. I feel like there's no holding back from Rodgers in a lot of ways, and it's not just negative energy. It's not just anger or all that stuff coming out. It's positive energy. It's love for the game. It's appreciation of the players. Here he is with Avonte Maddox, veteran cornerback, as caught by NFL Films.
What's up, Avonte? How you doing, brother?
Hello, brother.
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you. Good.
What year is this for you now?
8.
Congrats, man. That's awesome.
Appreciate it.
That's awesome.
Hey, you.
21.
Legend.
Hey, I respect the game, brother.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate
And the journey, too, right? 319! 319! Go, Quest! Oh, you don't want me to help you pick you up? No. Why? Because you slower than a 42-year-old? Is that why? You're slower than a 42-year-old?
This is great. I mean, this is what you want. I remember we got some advice on our wedding day. Take it all in, right? Like, make sure you're not just kind of going through the motions. You just drink it all in and create those memories. I feel like that's what Aaron Rodgers is doing now. How's it going to end? We have no idea. We shall see. While they were making the movie Casablanca, they were making jokes in the script about how it's going to end.
Horrible. And I don't mean just the injury. I mean the second year. I mean the ending of it. I think it was miserable. And he's just like, I'm not going out that way, to the point of me saying, you could have retired after 20 years. Just didn't want to. Now, it's really interesting because we've been down the road a little bit on this. I think Aaron Rodgers badly wanted to be an LA Ram. I really do. And I think there was some progress towards him becoming an LA Ram because Matthew Stafford was not going to be. And if he's on the Rams right now, he maybe is on his way to winning a Super Bowl. We don't know. He ends up with the Steelers. But I'm laughing at it because everything's so great right now with Rodgers and the Steelers as we sit here on Christmas Eve. If we go back to Latrobe in August, when I was sitting with them and it was 86 degrees, if I had said to him, all right, Aaron, I know what's coming. Week 17, you see that maniac back there on that field, that Adonis, that Greek god, DK Metcalf? Well, he's going to be suspended. You see that guy riding his bike around like he owns the place, J.J. Watt, wearing number 90? He's going to be injured and out. And it's just going to be you out there trying to make plays. He would be like, what? Take me back to the Jets or take me to Malibu. That sounds horrible. Well, it's not. They're in great shape. And they hit rock bottom a few weeks ago on the Aaron Rodgers Steelers. 6-6, lose to the Bills. You know how it was. Fire Tomlin, all this, all that. And now they've just kind of found this thing that we couldn't really sink our teeth into yesterday. We were trying to talk about the Steelers, and Mike's making the point of, like, they're not really great at anything, statistically and ranking-wise. And yet they're sitting there 9-6. I think it's really a foregone conclusion they're going to win the division. So my question is now is, like, let's say they get to the wild card and they lose, or let's say they get to the wild card and lose in the divisional. What's Rodgers' future? Is he coming back? Is he going to do season 22? We're looking at the NFL now in a context of, we just watched a guy who's significantly older than Rodgers, looks like in far less shape than Rodgers, chucking touchdowns around on a Monday night like it was nothing. Would the Steelers have Rodgers back on a one-year deal? Would he want to come back? Probably. I think so. Like, if he finishes healthy and they go to the playoffs and whatever happens, I think he may say, let's do it one more time. I think he's loving it. And it's been really, really successful. The Jets thing was an F, not a D-, an F. And this thing so far, it's your 9-6 division title back in the playoffs. It's an A. So I'm happy for it. I think we may get it again next year.
There's just certain things that fit together, honestly. The way Kyle's talking about how well it's worked for the Steelers, like Mike Tomlin just walking off the field with those two absolute legendary veterans, it just looks like they all suit together. Tomlin walking along with the rookie quarterback, it's very uncomfortable. It's not what you're used to seeing. So to Kyle's point, running it back wouldn't be the craziest thing in the world. Looking back at what the Steelers have or have not accomplished in the postseason recently, that is also uncomfortable. As we look at the AFC playoff picture, listen, we know this to be true. Steelers always better than 500. Steelers always make it to the playoffs. But what the Steelers rarely do, at least in the last 5 years, is win beyond the first weekend of the postseason. One and done for the last 5 years. They have lost to the Ravens. They have lost to the Bills, the Chiefs, the 2020 Browns, and the 2017 Jaguars. That's it, guys. Last 5 times, wild card losses. The last win came in 2016, nearly 10 years ago. So, Kyle, you think about that clip from August. You watch Aaron Rodgers play this month in December. Are we building up to a magical Aaron Rodgers run the way our brains just need it to be tickled in our head with football fancy this in the next couple of weeks?
I hope so. And you know me, I'm not afraid to root for outcomes. I don't care. I root for storylines ending that are annoying and tired. And if the Steelers finish whatever they finish and they win the North and they lose in the first round of the playoffs, it's just going to be so annoying, and the takes are going to be so nuclear, and there's going to be another round of fire Tomlin takes, because we saw guys like, he's not going to have a losing season this year. This SOB did it again, and I love him. I love him. It's an incredible thing. But in that same day that I sat with Rodgers, I sat with Tomlin, and I said, listen, you never had a losing season. That's all anyone talks about. And sometimes even your critics talk about it as a negative thing, that's why you stay hired. It means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. What does it mean to you? Not much. It's all in the past. It's about what we're going to do in the future. I look at the playoffs right now, and if we have the AFC playoff standings, great. If we don't. Right now, the Pittsburgh is at the 4 in the playoffs. Now, we have a couple games left, but right now, they're going to host the game. So there it is. Let's play. If the playoffs started today, they would be hosting the LA Chargers and Jim Harbaugh. Another team that has its flaws and has its injuries, but they'd be going to Pittsburgh. You'd have Justin Herbert out in the elements in a freezing cold Pittsburgh, and we'll see. I don't know. I don't know what that game is, but I don't care who they play. I'm going to openly say right now, for the sake of finally killing the same boring, tired conversation, I hope the Steelers win a playoff game. I do.
You remember what MVP Aaron Rodgers with the Green Bay Packers looked like? You remember those glory years? You remember him throwing down the field to Jordy Nelson? He will throw down the field now, but it's not going to be like that. Like that Aaron Rodgers and that Green Bay Packers team, that offense, first of all, it doesn't exist. Second of all, it's not really what the Steelers try to do anyway. So I think that there's the best of Aaron Rodgers that we're seeing right now, but it's sort of sneaky because it's back to him not making mistakes. We just saw it was up on the bottom there. I think no interceptions in the last 5 games. As a matter of fact, when you look at it, he's thrown 2. I mean, we had Thanksgiving. Today is Christmas Eve. Tomorrow's Christmas. So 2 major holidays, and he hasn't thrown an interception in that window there. Matter of fact, 2 since the beginning of October, if I'm looking at this correctly. So I think he's sneakily getting back to what he was before, and what you're seeing from him that is probably going to be the best of him right now. So it makes them, there you go, 138 attempts, no interceptions. I don't know that I realized that until I saw this up on the screen here in the last 5 games. So it makes them sneakily dangerous right now, because in the playoffs, it's about running the football and playing good defense. It's also about not making critical mistakes. And right now, that's the Rodgers that we're getting. So it makes them intriguing. Yesterday, the question was, what word do you come up with for how you feel about the Steelers right now? Maybe it's intriguing. Maybe that's the word a day later.
I know me, guys. I'm always going to root for that hero kind of send-off right into the sunset kind of narrative, and I would really want that for Aaron Rodgers. But, Mike G, you made this point, I believe it was yesterday or the day before. When you look at the AFC playoff picture, even the NFC one, it's those teams in the wild card spots that's the most dangerous. So you're talking about, you use this term, Mike G, about the sneakily good team. The ones that are in the wild card they're not sneaky good, and that's the problem, and that's the challenge that I think with a lot of these teams when you look at the playoff picture is those 3 teams in a wild card category right now are ascending. That's how dangerous this playoff picture is looking. And so when you get into the playoffs, which it looks like the Steelers will at that 4 spot, you can't be sneaky anymore, right? It's January football, it's playoff football, and when those teams in that column on the right, the Chargers, the Bills, and the Texans, if they continue to play the way they've been playing, whether they're in Pittsburgh or somewhere else, that's the time to show up. And so I'm hopeful for Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers, because I want to see number 8 do well and then play deep into the playoffs and hopefully win a Super Bowl before he calls it a career. But again, in 2025, those teams in that wild card situation, they are a situation themselves.
Feels like we have to change the playoff picture column to sneakily lurking after we use that word like 50 times in this segment. Sneakily is a word, confirmed. I looked up, spelling and all. Sneaky in nature, if you will. Ian Rappaport, sneakily get in here, our NFL Network insider, with the news and information this morning. Rap sheet, the fallout from this DK Metcalf situation continues. There was the ruling, there was the appeal, and now there's an update. So what can you tell us about the recent development with DK Metcalf?
That's right. DK Metcalf had his 2-game suspension upheld by the NFL and the NFLPA's appeals officer last night. That means he is officially suspended, 2 games out for the rest of the regular season, which has some ramifications for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Not going to have them continue to support him, according to colleague Tom Pelissero. So presumably Metcalf will be with the Steelers and see his second year of his